Talk about judging your friends. A TikToker shamed for Forbes friends list, ranking friends by salary. So basically judging them by their money and all that kind of stuff. So let's get right into it. So for these friends is all about the Benjamins. A group of pals made a now viral Forbes friends list and even went as far to rank themselves from wealthiest to poorest to prove it. So TikToker Tom Cruise shared a video featuring a detailed spreadsheet that outlines the salaries, paid time off, opportunities, vacation budgets, and relationship statuses of his 17 closest buds. A few years ago, me and my friends started making a spreadsheet breaking down our incomes and availability for Travis Cruz, who claims to be a real estate investor from North Carolina in the trending clip. We have the friends broken down here from Sean, my top earning friend who makes over $5 million, to who we call Broke Bobby, who makes $125,000. So Cruz's jaw-dropping post is no longer available on TikTok, but has garnered over 3.2 million views on Twitter when it was reposted Wednesday. It's incredibly helpful, he said, of his fortune file titled Forbes World's Billionaires List, the Richest in 2020. So what in the world is this? So let's actually check out this, TikTok that it originally was.
And availability for travel, and it looks like this. It's incredibly helpful. Get your friends broken down here from Sean, my top earning friend who makes over $5 million, to who we call Broke Bobby, who makes $125,000. How much available PTO we have, or paid time off, bonuses, how much we're willing to spend on a 3-day trip, 7-day trip. We have some people that are very responsible with their 7-day trips, some people that are already tapped out for the year. Marital status helps if we know there's going to be anyone else coming. Our willingness to travel to a third world destination, if they're willing to split a private flight, and if they're degenerate gamblers or not. This list is very pragmatic, and also a lot of them are saying that it's very motivational. So it allows us to avoid awkward situations within our friend group, inviting certain friends that may or may not want to do what we want to do, especially when it comes to gambling or spending a lot of money. So it works for us.
So here's the thing, right? Some people might have like different views about that, but if you were to take a step back and just look at it for the pure functionality of it, it actually makes perfect sense, right? Because depending on people's income and their interest and how much free time that they actually have available to them, there's a lot of factors that could basically impact whether or not it makes sense for them to actually go and do that, right? Like, are you going to invite your buddy who is like living paycheck to paycheck to go on a trip to a whole different country? Like in like the middle of like winter or something? No, you're not going to do that, right? But you could have a friend or friends that have that availability to them. But then you could also structure something that, okay, this is great for like a main group of people, right? That pretty much everyone could go do. Oh, like everyone can do like a movie night where we all go to the movie theaters like during the summer at this time, right? So I understand it. I also understand why people might react very negatively to this, because some people might react to this negatively in the sense that, oh, I can't believe you're judging your friends based off how much they make, blah, 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 blah. Or they might just be judging for them for like making a lot of money, because let's face facts, this is a lot of money, especially that one guy that's making like $5 million. But literally every single person in that list is making a lot of money compared to the average United States individual. They're making a lot of money, right? But either way, I understand the functionality of it completely, because a lot of people try to like make plans that doesn't even make sense, right? And look, there's some people that they might have that might be making a lot of money, that might have a lot of free time, but they might be trying to get out of debt. So you're going to are you going to invite someone who's trying to get out of debt onto a poker trip? No, you're probably not, right? Like, are you going to invite someone to go onto like like multiple vacation trips to different countries, right? Or on a cruise that costs like thousands and thousands of dollars. No, you're not going to do that, right? So this makes perfect sense if you want to respect everyone's specific situation, right? And it also makes it very clear to everyone in the friend group, like, hey, you know, some people cannot make it here. Some people can't do it here for this reason. Some people are making enough money to go and do this thing. This one person might make a lot more money, but may not actually have the free time to go and do stuff at these specific times or dates and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, it just makes it very organized to the point where there's no questions as to why someone's going to do something or not going to do something. But then also, this allows the friends to end up basically calling each other out because everyone knows basically everything, right? They can basically say like, hey, like, we know that you get like 20 days paid off time. What are you doing with that time? Why aren't you like hanging out with us, right? So it's something that, you know, people could basically end up calling each other on their bull crap, right? So I actually kind of like this. I like this kind of like idea, especially if you have like a large friend group, right? Like if you have a large friend group, something like this actually makes sense. Now, if you're someone who might only have like 3 or 4 friends that you end up hanging out with, well, your income and like your free time is probably pretty similar anyway, so you're probably not going to have to do this. But with a massive group of people, I'm talking more like 10 plus people, something like this actually makes a lot of sense, right? So 6 of the friends, including Cruz, bagged more than $1 million over the last year per the clip. The others, including broke Bobby, enjoy 6-figure incomes. So Cruz went on to explain the significance of each column in his Cruz livelihood hierarchy. The spreadsheet also shows how much available PTO or pay time off we have. He said, pointing to the boxes denoting the number of vacation days each guy can use for travel, and their paid leaves from work range from no limit to the number of days they can take off to 0 paid time off, right? So again, like this makes this super, super specific and clear, okay? So look, some people have no limit, 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 and there's like a 25-day limit, right? There's 10 days, 7 days, there's 0 days for, you know, available paid time off, right? Which kind of sucks, right? Okay. So bonuses, Cruz continued moving along to the other columns. How much we're willing to spend on a 3-day trip and how much we're willing to spend on a 7-day trip, marital status, our willingness to travel to a third world destination, if we're willing to split a private flight, and if we're degenerate gamblers or not. But while Cruz considers his riches ranking list very pragmatic and motivational, Twitter critics are calling it classless and classist. But again, I don't consider this that type of situation, right? Because this is basically everyone in this situation that like all basically kind of like agree with each other and be like, hey, you know, like, let's just make this clear and up front, like, hey, like, how are we going to hang out? Who's like available to hang out? What are our different interests? What do we prefer? What can we even do? Because look, no one wants to be left out, but this allows everyone to be like, yeah, you know, I could actually go and join you guys on that type of thing, right? So it makes very perfect and clear sense. So imagine setting up a class system inside your friend group. LMAO, one commenter quipped. I hope this is fake, another person complained. People are starving, dying, suffering. No one needs to see this. Also, your friends were fine putting their income on blast. Reevaluate yourself. It's sick. See, look, this is the thing. There's nothing sick with people talking about their income, right? The problem is there's so many people that don't talk about money that they end up getting into massive amounts of debt. They make very poor financial decisions, right? And not only that, the fact that they're able to like label each other as like degenerate gamblers, right? They could be like, okay, yeah, you guys got a problem gambling, right? That's smart. Dun, 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 dun. Now, he also did not create a follow-up video that ranks the bottom 10 earners of his friend's group. Well, he did create a follow-up video. They call themselves the Welfare 10, Cruz explained before showing the spreadsheet breakdown of his most cash-poor pals. These are my really good friends. I've known most of these guys since college, he said. A couple of them are unemployed. All of them make under $100,000 per year. Cruz's friend Kyle tops the Welfare 10 list, ranking in $92,000 annually, and a buddy named Gump rounds off the log with his $25,000 income. For this less well-to-do group, Cruz broke down their traveling budgets and tastes in a more practical way. We have to change up the questions, he said, noting that this list columns differed from those in his Forbes file. Will you eat at non-chain restaurants? That is very important to understand, he said, pointing to the boxes indicating his poor friend's willingness to spend money on exotic foods. If they're able to do first-class hotels and flight, if they have points, that's important, Cruz continued. And we have a few degenerate gamblers in here as well. So despite his salary segregation, Cruz says he doesn't judge his mates based on how much money they make. I don't care about my friend's income, he assured. It's just very helpful when we're planning day trips or road trips to see where everyone's at money-wise. And again, it makes perfect sense, right? Because, look, they're not doing this because they want to insult each other than the degenerate gambler option, right? They're doing this so that there's no miscommunication and no one actually ends up getting embarrassed, right? By end up going onto something when they really shouldn't be, right? Because look, you don't want to be like the poor friend who ends up going on like a massive like destination trip and then basically be like, hey guys, yeah, I gotta leave. I can't do this with you guys at all, period. Like, I got no money. And if I do this with you guys, I'm gonna get into massive amounts of debt, right? Like, you don't want to put your friend in that type of situation. So if you make it very clear from the upfront, be like, hey, I can do this, I can't do that, right? End of story. Like, these are my limits, right? So having that clear like standpoint where everyone's actually standing is like, okay, that makes sense. That's fine. We'll plan for that, right? So this is something to really think about it. I really actually like that because when it comes to money, a lot of things can be solved problem-wise by simply having a plan that's just laid out. By the way, if you need help with getting out of debt, go check out 4doinbox.com to learn the secret to mastering your money.